While you speak, you're still in the game. Silence changes the rules. Carl Gustav Jung. Have you ever noticed how your silence can shift the atmosphere in a room? How just by withdrawing your presence, something changes. People become unsure. They begin to chase, to question, to wonder. We live in a world full of noise, where attention is currency, where reaction is expected. But in this noise we forget one thing. Silence is not weakness, silence is power. Carl Jung believed that the most profound transformations happen in silence, that when we withdraw intentionally, we begin to hear ourselves again, not the world, not the demands, but our own truth. Part 2. Silence is not absence. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of clarity. It is not passivity. It is sovereignty. When you stop reacting, you start observing. You begin to notice patterns you never saw before. You begin to notice how much of your life is driven by the expectations of others, and slowly, you begin to take your energy back. Part 3. Emotional availability is a trap. From an early age, you were taught to be present, to respond quickly, to please, to say yes. Even when you wanted to say no, you learned that love must be earned, that your value depends on your usefulness, that being available to everyone is a virtue, but it is not, it is a trap. Emotional availability without boundaries becomes self-abandonment. And the more you give, the less you are valued. Because what is always there is rarely respected. Part 4. Energy is a limited resource. Carl Jung saw the mind as an energy system. Every thought, every emotion, every reaction costs energy. When you explain yourself too much, when you react out of habit, when you try to fix people, you are spending energy that may never return. And when your energy is low, you become vulnerable, you lose your center, and others can feel it. Withdrawal is not rejection, it is redirection. It is choosing where your energy goes. Some people know how to control you without saying a word. They press your buttons, they trigger your patterns, and you react just the way they expect. But when you go silent, when you do not respond, when you walk away from the game, everything changes. Suddenly they do not know how to deal with you, because your silence removes their control. Part 6. The persona and projections. Let's talk about this social mask we all wear. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung had a name for it: the persona. Think of it as the carefully curated version of ourselves we present to the world. It's our public face, the one we put on for job interviews, first dates, and even casual interactions. We craft this image, consciously or not, because we have a deep-seated need to belong, to be seen as competent, agreeable, and ultimately, to be accepted. It's a fundamental part of how we navigate the intricate dance of social life. And while the persona is a useful, even necessary tool, a danger emerges when we forget it's just a mask. When we live through it for too long, when the performance becomes our reality, the connection to our authentic inner self begins to fray. The line blurs between who we are and who we pretend to be. We might start to feel a sense of emptiness, a nagging feeling that something is missing. We lose contact with our own feelings and our own quiet intuition, making choices based on what our persona should do, rather than what our heart truly desires. This disconnect is made even more complicated by the people around us. Because when we present a consistent mask, others begin to interact with that mask, not with the real person behind it. They start to project their own needs, their own stories, and their own expectations onto you. It's rarely a conscious act, it's simply human nature. They see the capable leader, the endlessly patient friend, or the perfect partner, the version of you that fits neatly into their world. They see what they want to see, not who you truly are. And so, their relationship isn't truly with you, it's with the function you serve in their life. They relate to the version of you that provides them with comfort, solves their problems, or validates their own identity. This creates a fragile, conditional connection, a relationship built on an illusion that depends on you continuing to play your assigned part. The real you, with all your complexities and vulnerabilities, remains unseen. But what happens when you stop playing the part? Your silence breaks the illusion. It creates a sudden, unexpected space where your performance used to be. And for someone who is only ever related to your mask, that void is deeply unsettling. This is the next powerful aspect of silence. It acts as a boundary without confrontation. You don't need to yell or offer a lengthy, exhausting explanation to defend your position. You simply withdraw. You take your energy off the table. In that quiet refusal to participate in the old dynamic, you reclaim your power. And in the space that remains, what is left is the truth. The truth of the situation, and more importantly, the truth of who you are without the mask, waiting to be heard. It's a startling moment when you realize, the people who react most strongly when you go silent are often the ones who benefited most from your lack of boundaries. They were accustomed to your constant availability, your immediate yes, your endless emotional energy. Your silence disrupts a dynamic that served them well, and their discomfort is a direct reflection of that. They are mourning the loss of the version of you that existed to meet their needs. This leads to the first and most challenging emotional wave: guilt. The moment you choose your peace over their expectation, a voice inside may scream that you are being selfish, unkind, or cold. This guilt is a powerful, ingrained response, a relic of our conditioning to be accommodating. It's tangled with a profound fear of rejection, the worry that if we stop giving, we will no longer be wanted or loved. But it's crucial to understand this feeling is not your truth, it is the echo of your conditioning. For years, you may have been taught that your value is measured by your service to others. You are now learning a deeper truth. You are not being unkind by honoring your limits. You are simply choosing yourself, perhaps for the first time. This is an act of self-preservation, a step toward a more authentic life. And not everyone will applaud this. Some will push back, labeling you distant, arrogant, or difficult. You might hear, "You've changed," spoken like an accusation. These labels are not truths, they are expressions of their discomfort. And here's the most liberating realization: their discomfort is not your responsibility to fix. You can hold space for their feelings without carrying them as your own burden. Their reaction is about their needs, not your worth. Letting go of that responsibility is the key that unlocks a new way of being. As you learn to walk away from the noise, you step into a space that might feel unfamiliar at first, but is rich with potential. This is where you discover the beauty of sacred isolation. As silence deepens, something new begins. You stop feeling lonely and start feeling whole. You stop needing others to reflect your worth and start sensing your own presence. Carl Jung said that to become yourself, you must walk away from the collective. You must take a journey inward. And you must do it alone for a while. This is sacred isolation. Not punishment, but healing. Part 10. Rebirth through silence. When you stop reacting, you become intentional. When you stop explaining, you become respected. When you stop being available, you become rare. You shift from being a reactor to a creator, from being shaped by others, to shaping your own path. Silence allows this transformation to unfold. It is not the end, it is the beginning. Part 11. Final reflection. Let's talk about a quiet revolution that happens inside you. It begins with a simple, yet profound realization. You do not need to be available to everyone. In a world that glorifies being busy, choosing to be unavailable is a radical act of self-preservation. It's permission to close the door, not out of anger, but out of love for your own well-being. And with that comes the second truth. You do not need to respond to everything. Every text and notification is a bid for your energy. You have the right to decide where that energy flows. Letting a message sit isn't passive aggression, it's a conscious choice to protect your mental space and reclaim your focus. Most importantly, you do not need to explain your peace. When you start setting these boundaries, some people may not understand, they may question your silence. Remember, your peace is not a debate. It doesn't require their approval. It is a sovereign state within you, and you are its sole guardian. This journey naturally leads us to reevaluate our connections, because being loved means nothing if you must abandon yourself to receive it. If you have to shrink your personality, silence your opinions, or sacrifice your dreams to fit into someone else's idea of love, it isn't love, it's confinement. True love, true connection, the kind that nourishes your soul, begins when you choose yourself. It's not selfish, it's essential. When you honor your own needs and values, you become a beacon for others who will respect and cherish the real you, not a performance put on for their acceptance. Now, this path isn't always easy. You may lose people, but you will find your essence. And that loss will hurt. But in the space they leave behind, you'll rediscover the parts of you tucked away to make others comfortable. You'll hear your own inner voice again. In the beginning, you may feel alone, but you will finally be whole. There's a profound difference between loneliness and solitude. In solitude, you become your own safe harbor, your own best company. This isn't emptiness, it's a quiet contentment that comes from within. So I ask you, are you ready for that kind of peace? The kind that costs comfort but gives back power, the kind that demands silence but delivers strength. It's the peace that costs temporary conformity for the enduring power of authenticity. If you are, comment below, I choose my peace. Make that declaration to yourself and the world. And remember, silence is not the absence of voice, it is the beginning of truth. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. And if you are ready to reclaim your peace, type in the comments, "I choose my peace." Like this video if it helped you pause, and subscribe if you are on a journey of self-awareness and transformation. Share this with someone who needs a moment of silence in their life. New videos every week on boundaries, inner growth, and the psychology of becoming whole. Your silence holds power. Let it speak. We will see you in the next video.